Hello. Gonna wait for people to join us. Hello. We are going to be diving in to turning pressure into magic. So, if this is the first time you are tuning into me live, say hello. If this is not your first time, still say hello, because I want to see your new face, know your name. And this is going to be a very important discussion, because when it comes to pressure, right, pressure is the things that can make you collapse in your business, can make you contract, and it really stops you from feeling the magic, right? You tend to either live in pressure or live in magic, or you pendulum swing between the two. And when you're feeling pressure, and this can be in the beginning of your business, it can be later on, I'm gonna go through kind of the differences, but that pressure starts to cause a lot of dysregulation in your system. So at the beginning of your business, maybe you didn't feel a lot of pressure. Maybe you were just in the magic of it. You know, people were signing up, things were popping off, clients were joining your world, things were flowing. But as time went on, maybe you experienced a plateau, a slowdown in your business. Then you started feeling the pressure. And as that went on longer and longer, the pressure got worse and worse and worse. And you started to lose that spark. You started to lose that magic. Or maybe you are in the beginning of your business now, and just the pressure of hitting that new income, hitting that goal, getting sales in, getting your offers out, knowing that you can also feel the pressure at any point in your business, right? That pressure to perform, that pressure to keep going, to make sure this many people are in your offers, you're hitting this, you're going. All of that starts to create a lot of pressure in your system that can really take you out of that magic. And the thing is, the magic is what's going to get you there, and it's what's going to get you there feeling ease, right? There, I guarantee whether you feel pressure, you have at some points felt magic. You have at some points felt that lightness and that excitement before the pressure took over. Was it not easier to create from that space? Was it not easier to sell from that space? Not because you were like selling from vibes and excitement, but because you didn't have the pressure on there. Because what happens when we have pressure, right, in our systems, the pressure switches your brain. So when we're under pressure, we really operate in the fear circuits of our brain, right? Your limbic system, your amygdala, it starts to run the show and it starts to rule the game, which means everything you do is coming from pressure. Every time you show up, it's coming from pressure. Every time you sell, every time you write copy, every time you do anything, it is pressure, right? You start overthinking. What am I doing wrong? You start overanalyzing. When you want to talk about your genius and how great you are, you just feel kind of like paralyzed and stuck because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You want to make sure you get it right. In this pressure, then you start to take action from that place, or sometimes you don't take action, right? Because pressure will either make you take action from pressure, or the pressure can make you completely freeze, right? One of the nervous system responses is freeze, and you just do nothing, right? So then you struggle to show up. You struggle to do the things because you either collapse under the pressure or everything you do is from pressure. And neither of those are great frequencies, right? Neither of those are the frequencies of magic. Neither of those are the frequencies of ease. And what happens is this pressure becomes embedded in your system, right? Because when there's pressure, your brain is thinking, I need to survive, right? In order for you to survive, in order for your nervous system to feel safe, it's like, oh, there's pressure. We have to keep in this mode so that we survive, which means your brain is going to actually prevent you from accessing the magic. They are literally two different parts of your brain. I want you to think about it like a flip of a switch, right? It's not like a dimmer switch where like, oh, it's a little bit of pressure in this. It's like you're either in your pressure mode or you're in your magic mode. Which one are you in? Your brain literally flips its circuits Because how you think and how you operate and how you be from the pressure and the fear circuits is very different from the magic zone, right? The magic zone is more of your executive functioning. It's more of your like prefrontal cortex area of your brain and nervous system. So what we really need to do is we need to turn that pressure back into magic again. But we can't get to the magic without dissolving that pressure first. Right? And I guarantee you've probably tried to feel the magic again. You've tried to tap back in, and it lasts for a second. Maybe it lasts for an hour. Maybe it lasts for a day, but it's not long lasting. It's not like you're living in that magic zone. You go back into pressure. And that's because your brain will always prioritize survival. So if it perceives that this pressure is required to survive, it's always going to prioritize that mode of your brain, and it's not going to allow you to switch out back into magic. So what we actually need to do is we need to change the way your brain is perceiving the world around you. So instead of perceiving it and creating pressure, we actually need to look at it as opportunity. So how does our brain do that? By wiring safety internally. And this is why, I love how it knows I said something relevant. And this is why it's so important to wire safety internally. Because when you have safety internally, you don't actually feel that pressure. That pressure is created from separation, right? When you feel like you are separate from something else, that's when you feel pressure. I mean, this goes for your business, but everywhere in life. When you feel like the income is here and you are here, creates pressure, right? The pressure is something outside of you. Think about it like if you were to go to the gym and put one of those weighted plates on your chest. That weight is outside of you, so the pressure is here. When there's any degree of separation between you and the thing you desire, you will create that pressure in your system, right? So if it's the income, if it's a certain number of clients, a certain type of clients, a certain business, technically it also goes for things outside of, business. It could be even the pressure to get married, the pressure to have kids. It could be any kind of pressure, right? You can feel that separation is what causes that pressure. When you bring safety internally, there is no longer any separation, right? You bring yourself back into a state of wholeness. Yes, you are always whole and complete. You kind of just forgot because you put it outside of you, right? You put that safety in whatever the thing is that's causing pressure, that's making you overthink, that's making you feel overwhelmed, and you no longer feel that magic. So what we have to do is we have to bring that safety back in so that it dissolves any gap, it dissolves any separation. Then it's like, and your nervous system just kind of softens. And once your nervous system feels safe, it is like, all right, we can turn on, the creative juices again. We can turn on the magic zone. We can turn on the ability to feel that again. But your brain is smart. And it wants to protect you. And it cannot protect you. And it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you just go into the magic, but we're just gonna try to survive. It's not gonna work like that. It will always prioritize your survival. So you have to make it feel safe first. Because those that are able to really stay tapped into the magic instead of giving into the pressure are those who have not only more success, but more quickly. Because they're not collapsing under it. They're not contracting under it. And so this is why having safety is such a key for expanding to new levels of life and business relaxed, right? When you don't have that pressure, you feel relaxed. Pressure creates contraction, right? When we think about, like I'm going to use the weighted plate on our chest, it contracts your energy field. It contracts everything about you. You feel contracted. You can even see the body language when you feel contracted, when you feel pressure. Pressure like this, it makes you contract. Versus when you're relaxed, your field, yourself, you are so much more open. Now the paradox of this, right, is like normally when you're under pressure, it's like, oh, that's when you want to receive the most, is when you're under pressure. But it's actually when you are most closed off to receive. This is why it is most important to get out of pressure first and then take action from that place. Because taking action from pressure will just breed more pressure. Because what will happen is you feel that separation, right? You feel the gap between where you are now and where you desire to be. Whether that's a gap between an income, a this, a business, something between you and there, you can feel that there's a distance, you feel it, it's not here yet. That pressure, let me take action. Let me do something to relieve that pressure. But what happens is it only gives you the illusion of relief. Do you notice how when you take action from pressure, you feel good? You feel like a momentary relief for like a hot second, but the pressure comes back. It comes back once you don't get the result as instantly as you desired it. The pressure comes back. And then it normally feels even worse, right? When we're taking action from pressure and we don't get the result we want as fast as we want it, that pressure starts to compound. So think about it like a scale, right? We'll have pressure in this one and like magic in the other. The more you take action from pressure and don't get the result, the more pressure starts to take up more space, and more space. And that's when you contract. And the less likely you are to feel the magic. So we need to do this. We need to dissolve that pressure so that you can get tapped back into the magic that's going to take you to the next level while you feel relaxed. Because isn't that how you want to experience it anyways? You don't want to experience it stressed. You don't want to experience it overwhelmed. You don't want to experience it from overthinking. So you need to notice where you are operating from pressure that is keeping you from operating from magic. Because every time you operate from pressure, you wire that into your nervous system more, right? Neurons that fire together, wire together. So when we think about how often you're going about your day from pressure, that pressure to perform, to succeed, to not fail, to hit a certain income, to have a certain number of people in your programs or your groups or likes or plays or what, like real, whatever, I don't know, whatever metric you're gaining this pressure from. You wire that into your nervous system and you wire it into your brain, because what you are telling your nervous system is that this pressure is real, it is valid, and so I need to keep operating with this. So it goes, oh, okay, she's taking action from pressure. The pressure is real. It's listening to what you are doing. So do you see now how when you take action from pressure, it not only stops you from tapping into the magic, right? The magic that's going to get you there to the next level, to actually where you want to go, but it's also further wiring in more pressure, right? It's wiring in more dysregulation. And if you're just tuning in, I see a bunch of new faces, you can't be, it's one or the other. It is like you can't be in two lanes, all right? It's like driving. You can't be driving in like the middle of two lanes. I mean, there's some people who do that, but you get what I mean. You have to be either in this lane or that lane. You are either in pressure or you're in magic. You are not in both. You can go from one to the other, but ideally you want to stay in the magic zone. That all comes from dissolving that separation by bringing safety internally. Once your nervous system is like, we are safe, it lets go of any pressure, right? It will not let go of pressure if it feels like it is not safe to, because it needs it to survive. And what's even funnier is that chances are like you're already surviving. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm already surviving, so that's not happening to me. Your brain perceives survival, even if you have a roof over your head, you got like tens of thousands of dollars in your account, like it's still a survival mechanism, right? Maybe it's the pressure that it doesn't all go away. What if it all goes away tomorrow? What if it suddenly stops working? What if this, what if that, right? It's still that survival primal response in your brain that we need to calm down so that you can actually tap back into the magic again. Because when you're tapped into magic, you are tapped into superconscious, right? Superconscious is where you literally flood in the magic, the ideas, the downloads that are going to allow you to collapse time and get there faster. But you can't access that mode of your brain if your primal brain, if your survival brain, if your dysregulated brain is running the show. And so many women, so many people don't realize that they're doing this in their business. Why? Because it's an unconscious thing, right? When we think about your subconscious, your unconscious mind, you're not conscious of it. You're not even sometimes even aware of the fact that you're showing up from pressure. You might be a little aware, a little conscious. You can kind of feel it in your body. But if you were to actually slow down and look at everything you do in a day, everything you say, everything you do, how you work, notice how much of that is from pressure. As women in general, notice how much of what you do is from pressure. Because that is all keeping you from being in the magic zone. And it's what's going to take you out of the magic zone and make it so that you are not locked into the magic zone. Right? When we think about being locked into the magic zone, I'm going to use that driving analogy again. It's like being in cruise control and like you're locked in, the car is going to be going at that speed. You don't have to worry. You just get to coast, relax, and sit back. And that's where we want to be. That easeful, relaxed cruise control. If you have not yet joined my new free secret podcast, Regulated, I cannot recommend it enough. All right, the feedback has already been insane. There are multiple episodes already ready for you to go and listen to. We dive in how to exist as someone who is regulated so you can stay in that magic zone and out of the pressure zone. Right, so you can turn pressure into magic. If you comment down below regulated, we will send you the link. It's an exclusive link. And that way you can go access the free secret podcast and you can go start listening to all of those episodes. Because I go through the 4 steps that you need to exist as someone who is regulated. It's time to turn pressure into magic again. It is time for you to get back to why you started this business in the first place. Why you're doing this in the first place, which is to change the world with your genius. You did not start this for things to be heavy. You did not start this to have pressure. You started this to have fun. You started it to help people. No matter what you do, you started it to have an impact. And it's time we brought you back to that magic and back to that impact. So that you become unstoppable. You stay tapped in. And let's be honest, without that pressure, you then have the spaciousness to live a big life outside your business as well, as you do the things to also grow your business. Because otherwise that pressure will make it so that you're not present in your life outside of your business. It will make you feel like you have to keep working, you have to keep doing more. It will make you feel like there's something outside of you that you don't know, that the secret is in this new reel strategy or this one. It's in something outside of you. It won't allow you to fully relax when you're with your partner or with your kids, because in the back of your mind, in your unconscious, it's running the show of like, pressure, pressure. And that's not the way you want to live. You want to actually feel chill and relaxed. And you don't have to choose between the two. It's not impact or income. It's not rich or relaxed. You get to have it all. So I see a bunch of you are commenting. Someone's saying, this is awesome. Thank you. You are so welcome. It's time to trade back the pressure for the magic. So comment regulated down below. We'll send you the link to that because that's phenomenal. I'm obsessed with it. And if you are not part of the broadcast channel on Instagram, I'm about to head over there in 10 minutes to do an exclusive live behind the scenes for that broadcast channel only. So head on over there because I'll see you in about 10 minutes and we're gonna have some extra fun for those of you who are inside. So I love you so much. Cannot wait to hear what you think about the new secret podcast, and I will see you very soon. Bye.